everyone, my name is Nasa Anissa Pojia, and this time I will tell you about power relation and social stratification. All society use social stratification to classify their members, resulting in equality, and the ranking is largely based on occupation and economic research. System inequally distributes wealth, income, and differing lifestyle. The relation between power and stratification is debated. Someone says power is product of status, and others say power is determinant of status. And some see it as a continued reciprocal system. Sociologists have devised several methods to identify and measure social stratification. This includes subjective method, which is personal perception, and number two is ranking from the others, and the last is objective method, is observation character. A lot of American people identify themselves as a middle class because when they identify by upper class, it feels arrogant, and many avoid the label lower class because it's embarrassing, even by those living properly. Racial and ethnic stratification persists. Payment for blacks and Hispanics lags behind white, reinforcing income and occupational inequality.
Sociology and the study of social class. Sociologists have different opinions about cause of social stratification due to unequal distribution of wealth and prestige in society. There are several theories. First, functional theory, example, president and diplomat. Second, conflict theory. In this theory, society is divided into two main classes, are capital owners and workers. Third, symbolic interaction theory. Example, the way a person dresses, speaks, and acts can influence how others perceive their social status. And the last is postmodernism. This theory actually argues that social identity has become more fluid, dynamic, and influenced by various factors, including lifestyle choices, consumption, and media.
Hello everyone, I'm Muti Febriati. We often talk about the American dream, but how wide is the gap between the dream and the reality for many? Today, we quickly examine the stark truth of inequality in America, focusing on income, wealth, and social mobility. Let's jump straight to income distribution. The data is clear. Since 1970, the share of national income earned by the poorest 20% of Americans has sharply declined from 5.4% to just 3.4%. Meanwhile, the richest 20% saw the share increase from 41% to over 15%. This widening gap is driven by major economic shifts, the tightening of manufacturing, and the rise of high-tech and service sector. Crucially, wealth inequality is even greater than income inequality. Wealth, your total asset minus your debts, is highly concentrated at the top. Age playing a big role, with people aged 55 to 74 holding the majority of the nation's wealth. This inequality breaks up core American values. Many people believe in equality of opportunity, meaning everyone starts with the same change, and rewards are based on the talent and effort. This is ideal. Fewer support, equality of resource, which means unequal sharing income regardless of effort. Most Americans support a basic safety net, but rejecting strict limits and how much wealth someone can accumulate. Finally, social mobility, the ability to move up the ladder, is being trained. The middle class is shrinking due to the industrialization, with like factory jobs were replaced by highly specialized, high-pay jobs or low-skill jobs or low-pay service jobs. This globalization and economic shift benefit the upper class but squeeze the lower middle class. In summary, income and wealth gaps are rising, challenging the classic notion and equal opportunity. Understanding these disparities is vital for shaping a fairer economic future. What is the single biggest police change you think is needed to fix this? Let me know in the comments. See you!
Next, we talk about primitive technology. In these societies, human and animal muscle power supplies most energy. Life is one of hard manual labor just to meet minimum needs. Family structure of lower class is frequently headed by women. For the male offspring of a lower class, matriarchal family, the future is often depressing, with defeat and frustration repeating themselves throughout his life. With limited job skills, few role models, little self-discipline, and low aspiration levels, the lower class male is not likely to find a steady job that will pay enough to support a family. To compensate for defeat and frustration, the lower class male will frequently resort to risk taking, conquest, and fighting to assert his masculinity. Entertainment may be limited to drinking and gambling. Next is social classes, conflict, and conciliation. Class consciousness is the belief that a class share adverse economic or political interests that should be promoted through common action. From Karl Marx's view, classes develop based on roles in the mode of production. Workers are exploited, capitalists steal surplus value, and Marx saw class consciousness as a prerequisite to successful proletarian revolution.
Hi guys, so in this chapter we'll learn about how social class work, especially in America. Back in 1835, a French thinker named Alexis de Tocqueville noticed something interesting. In Europe, people's social class was based on birth. If you were born rich, you stayed rich. If not, there wasn't much you could do. But in America, things were different. Social class wasn't fixed by bloodline. It was based on wealth and achievement. The means people could actually move up or down the social ladder depending on their effort and success. This chapter also teaches us how sociologists measure social stratification, how class affects lifestyle and power, and even talks about Karl Marx's ideas about class conflict. In short, it shows us that social class isn't just about money, it's also about influence, opportunity, and how society is structured.